right, Tim, so our first question comes courtesy of Graham McCann from Facebook. He wants to know how the save system will work in Rage. Is it going to have both manual saves and autosaves?
Yes, so in Rage, we have, it's like checkpoint saving, and it's basically whenever you enter a new area. So like if you go to town, you go to Wellspring, it'll save for you. If you head into the Ghost Hideout, it'll save for you. So if you forget to save, and you get killed, don't stress about it. You'll just, you'll restart. And we also have classic crawl saves. So, if you find that you've hit an area in the game that's tricky for you, make sure you save often. So we feel that's really the best of both worlds.
All right. Our next one comes from Guy Yaval, who I may be saying that wrong, so if I am, I'm sorry. But he actually has two questions. First, he wants to know how many hours of gameplay can we expect out of Rage, assuming we do all of the side quests and side missions and things like that.
Yes, Rage is a big game. It is definitely not the 4-hour shooter that many people are familiar with. It's definitely up there. If you really did everything, you're pushing 20 hours, definitely. And but again, you can keep racing. Or you can keep collecting those collector cards and do the card game, and you can do all the sewer missions. I mean, there's a ton of stuff. So it's definitely not your quick 4-hour shooter. You'll get your money's worth when you buy Rage.
He also wants to know, are there any different sort of factions or gangs that the player can ally with here in the game?
So you as the player play through a narrative. So you really don't align with either a bandit clan or the authority. You discover as you progress through the game that you are key to the ARC program, and therefore you're key to the resistance, and you're the important link in the fight against the authority. So there is a narrative, there is a story, but there's a lot of player choice when you experience the game. So it's kind of the best of both worlds.
Will Martin from Facebook wants to know what are some of the differences in Rage between the PC and console versions of the game?
Well, one of the great things about Rage is it's built in a brand new technology, Tech 5, and that allows true cross-platform development. So the textures and models and characters and levels that are created for one platform work on all the platforms. So the experience will be the same. What you can do on the PC that of course you can't do on consoles is you can crank up the resolution, you can take extra cores and send that to the transcoding, you can crank up your anti-aliasing. So so of course on the PC you have that flexibility. Then of course on the PC the mod tools will be available to you as well. But really, I would play Rage on whichever system that you prefer, and it really comes down to controller or PC, or you could play
controller on PC.
Yes, I actually prefer to play Rage on my PC with a controller. Because I like to sit back. I feel
kick back, relax a little bit.
That the driving, for me, is more intuitive with the controller. So I actually do prefer to play with the controller.
Well, there you go. Tyler Elf wants to know, is Rage really over when you beat it? Or can you go back and maybe replay missions that you've completed? Or is there perhaps a New Game Plus feature where you can bring your character back in and start the game over?
Well, I don't want to give away any secrets, but there's enough in there, and you have enough opportunities to, play more than just a straight path. Yes, you can finish it, and you can put it back in the box, and you can put it on the shelf. But I would definitely encourage people to explore as much as they can.
There may be just a little something there.
There may be, yes, and of course we have multiplayer, yes, which extends the gameplay far beyond the single player experience.
So speaking of multiplayer, ErnieBack5 on Twitter wants to know: will Rage have a split screen cooperative play?
Yes. Rage has split screen co-op play, which I feel is a great way to play with your buddy. Your buddy comes over, you sit down, you play some Legends of the Wasteland. These missions are extensions of things that you experience in the single-player campaign. You don't play as the same guy. And each mission you play as somebody different.
Yeah, I remember you talking about this
Yes.
Legend of the Wasteland mode. It sort of takes place sort of around the single-player story mode. There's sort of like these
Exactly.
extra missions that flesh out the game.
Exactly. You know, for instance, in the single player campaign, when you're sent to destroy the Shrouded Clan's base, the sheriff says, one of my guys uncovered the plans to make the RC bomb cars. Well, then you play one of those guys, you know, in the co-op experience.
Brian, let's see. Brian Veal on Facebook wants to know, to what extent can you customize your character in Raid?
Well, for you know, the character growth in Rage, you know, we find that you don't grow your character by like stats. You don't have endurance. You don't have strength like that. It's all the cool stuff that you have to blow things up with the ammo types.
And that's really what's most important.
Yes. We have an extensive stats page where you can get miles driven and air time and field goals and stuff like that. But really, the thing that motivates players is that every new area you go to in Rage will give you something new. New weapon, new ammo type, new engineering item, and player choice is important. So if you are into building the engineering things, then maybe you should you know, spend a bunch of your money on those components or look for those components. You know, we have a choice in the game by these different armor types that you can pick. You know, when one allows you to get a discount, one allows you to have more armor, one allows you to engineer things better. So based on how you play and what you like to do, your arsenal of cool stuff will grow, and that's how your player kind of evolves in the game.
And finally, Tim, what I want to know is, when is Rage coming out and on what platform?
Well, Rage will be out October 4th in the US, and it will be available for all the platforms.
All right, well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
You're welcome.